I'm Todd Andrews, Beef Development Officer with New South Wales DPI based in Armidale. This morning I wanted to talk about a couple of things for graziers to be aware of when they get heavy rain after fire or long-term drought. And those are water supply for stock, weed management, and also grazing management of fresh pasture. So firstly, water. When you get heavy rain or storms after fire or long-term drought when pastures have been heavily grazed, then obviously you can get some wash into dams and other water supplies. For the most part, stock can handle quite heavy sediment loads because they often take in soil just when they're grazing, especially short pasture. But when sediment loads get too heavy in dams, stock will not want to drink that water. So producers need to be aware of stock that are hanging around water sources but reluctantly drinking, and in that case they need to provide an alternative water source. If you get organic matter washed into dams, at first stock will be happy with that, but then especially in warm weather, as that organic matter breaks down, the water will become putrid, and again stock will not want to drink that water. The only real solution is providing an alternate water supply. Secondly, weeds. Often after rain we get a flush of weeds. Now these weeds might be things that were already on the farm, but often weeds come away early because they're not grazed as much during drought, so they've got more energy, come away quicker. So things like rock fern and green cestrum can poison stock because they're the first things that come away after rain. And if stock don't have any other feed to eat, then they can obviously eat these plants. This is often more of a problem with uneducated stock, which might have been brought in, and often cows or older animals are aware of the problem weeds and don't graze them. The other thing is, if you have brought in a lot of fodder, then definitely keep an eye on those areas for new or unusual plants that could be weeds and get them identified. It's very important for producers not to stop supplementary feeding after rain, because the fresh new pasture growth can have a range of issues associated with it. And the things that we often see are things like kikuyu poisoning, magnesium deficiency, clostridial diseases, and high worm burdens. Now, for the most part, these can often result in sudden death of animals, so prevention is definitely the best management option. So again, make sure there is roughage for animals to eat. If they're chasing green pig, then you need to keep them confined. Make sure your vaccinations are up to date, so you need at least 10 days for coverage from vaccination for clostridial diseases. And for weaner sheep, make sure they're in clean paddocks and monitor them for signs of worms, and do a worm egg count.